Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The Greensboro City Council has approved nearly $25 million in funding supported by the federal American Rescue Plan. This enables the city to address equitable economic recovery and community asset renewal projects. Funding is awarded to local nonprofit organizations for affordable and veterans housing, support for minority and women-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, and community programs. Funds were also designated for critical infrastructure investment at the Central Library, Greensboro Cultural Center, and city recreation pools, as well as the pre-construction costs for the transformational Windsor-Chavis Community Complex. This round of projects joins the City Council's previously approved list, which accounts for 42% of the nearly $60 million awarded to the City of Greensboro under the American Rescue Plan. All other projects previously submitted as part of the city's ARP program are still under consideration. The City Council is undergoing the deliberation process to identify the projects most closely aligned with the needs of the community and City Council priorities. For more information about this program and more details on approved ARP projects, visit the city's website. The City of Greensboro invites the community to complete an online survey to aid in the search for the next Chief of Police. The survey, which is open through Friday, September 30th, includes multiple topics, such as key issues facing the police department and top priorities for the new police chief. The results of the survey will be tabulated and shared by the consulting group Developmental Associates. The online survey is in addition to the last of 3 virtual Zoom meetings for public input. The last session will be held from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Wednesday, August 31st. Participants can join the meeting via Zoom using the meeting ID or dial in by phone by calling 669-444-9171, followed by the passcode 959723. Former Greensboro Police Chief Brian James retired from the city on May 31st. James joined GPD in 1996 and served as the Chief of Police since February 2020. Greensboro Transit Agency is the recipient of state funding, which will support its growing alternative fuel fleet. The North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality has awarded more than $1.1 million in Volkswagen settlement and congestion mitigation and air quality funding. This money is targeted to replace an aging diesel transit bus that has reached the end of its useful life with a clean, zero-emissions electric bus and charging station. Combined with the $3 million awarded by the Federal Transit Administration in March for the purchase of 3 electric buses, these investments in clean fuel vehicles will increase the total number of electric buses in the fleet to 21. Along with a number of existing diesel-electric hybrid buses, more than 50% of the GTA fixed-route bus fleet consists of sustainable vehicles. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
The coronavirus pandemic has presented us with a unique and challenging situation. It can create a great deal of anxiety and stress. Anxiety and stress to a limited degree can actually be very helpful. However, taken to a significant degree, stress can create problems for us both physically as well as emotionally. So when trying to manage your stress, there are a number of strategies you can utilize. It is important to really not focus solely on those things we cannot control. In fact, what you should do is have some discussions and think about and even list those things we do have control of. Make it something that you can do together as a family. And it's simple as what you're deciding to watch on television, the things that you do during the day, what you're having for dinner. And those may seem like small things that we all don't even think about during the day. But when you're in a time like this, when so much of life feels out of control, those things can feel very comforting. Do not overload on information. It is, in fact, important to understand the facts and keep up to date on to what is going on. However, you don't want to overload by watching television 24/7, staying with the newspaper, all day long. You need to take a break from that information. Think about the things in your life that you've used in the past that have helped you stay calm. Listening to music, or playing a musical instrument, or reading, talking with family members. These are all the same kinds of things that will help you during this challenging time. Think about creating new routines, whether it's games or watching certain television shows. Try some creative, artistic kinds of things that would be fun and unique. Try to incorporate your children into helping you come up with suggestions of things that would be fun to do. It's really important to understand that, again, stress and anxiety is normal. Do not try to just push it away or pretend it doesn't exist. If we try to deny it and push it down, it sometimes can create really cumbersome feelings, and it becomes more difficult to hold it back than it is just to let it out. It's okay to talk about it, it's okay to acknowledge it, and that, in fact, will help you work through it. Look at each day as a unique day. We take it one day at a time. Be very present in that day and make it the best possible day it can be. And tomorrow, creativity takes over, you make an entirely new day. But day by day, you will get through this, and that's the best way you can manage some of the stress and the anxiety that comes along with this.
The City of Greensboro is awarding grants to the creative community, and find out how you can reduce your carbon footprint without spending a lot of money. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Creative Greensboro, the city's Office for Arts and Culture, will award $400,000 through its new Sustaining Creativity Community Partnership Grants. The money will support general operations, administration, and programs for nonprofit organizations with a primary focus on creative programming. This opportunity is designed to extend resources to groups not currently receiving significant support from the City of Greensboro. Several information sessions will be held from September 1st through September 13th. The deadline to apply is Saturday, October 22nd. A panel led by Greensboro Cultural Affairs Commissioners will evaluate applications. Grants of $20,000 will be awarded to organizations recommended for support. A limited number of organizations may be recommended for an additional $5,000 or $10,000 for their efforts toward creative vibrancy and community benefit, as defined in the program guidelines and evaluated by the review panel. For the application and additional grant requirements and to register for an information session, visit the city's website. The Greensboro Police Department invites the community to use its secure medication collection boxes as a safe way to dispose of unwanted or expired medications. Proper disposal of medications can help prevent overdoses, deaths, addiction, and it also reduces environmental pollution. For convenient access, these secure collection boxes are located in the lobby of the following GPD substations. Police headquarters at 100 Police Plaza is open 24/7. The District 3 substation at 300 South Swing Road is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the District 4 substation at 1105 Maple Street is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Items that can be dropped in GPD collection boxes include EpiPens, patches, prescription pills, and capsules, as long as they are in zippered plastic bags. Loose pills cannot be dropped off. Items that cannot be dropped in GPD collection boxes include over-the-counter drugs, liquids, biomedical hazards, syringes, lancets, needles, and illegal drugs. Participating pharmacies may accept expired, unused, or unwanted medications. Check with your pharmacy to determine if they have a collection box and which items they accept. To anonymously report the sale or use of illegal street drugs, contact Crime Stoppers at 336-373-1000. The City of Greensboro is making it easy for residents to lower their carbon footprint and conserve water with the sale of backyard compost bins and rain barrels. Either purchase a 65-gallon compost bin for $52 or a 50-gallon IV rain barrel for $71. Place your online order by Sunday, September 18th. Bins and barrels will not be shipped, but you can pick them up at the White Street landfill between the hours of 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday, October 8th. 25% of a typical household's waste can be composted. Keeping these items out of your trash can free up space at the landfill and cut down on carbon and methane emissions released in the landfill. Composting also reduces the need for chemical fertilizers, helps soil retain moisture, and prevents soil erosion. Rain barrels help to conserve water, reduces stormwater runoff, and minimizes the need for chemical fertilizers. It's worth noting every gallon of water conserved using rain barrels means a lower water bill for irrigating lawns and gardens. The White Street landfill is located at 2503 White Street. Have you checked your smoke alarms lately to make sure they're in proper working order? Coming up after the break, find out why it's important to do more than change the batteries twice a year. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The numbers are staggering. 3 out of 5 home fire deaths result from fires in houses without working smoke alarms. This equates to nearly 40% of these deaths resulting from no smoke alarms in the house. Joining me now to tell us about the risk and how to reduce the risk of dying in a house fire is Dee Shelton. She's the Fire and Life Safety Educator with the Greensboro Fire Department. Hello, Dee. Welcome back.
Thanks, Carla. It's great to be here.
Always good to see you. Very important topic. Everybody thinks they have a smoke alarm, or as we just realized, a lot of people don't have any smoke alarms. So why do you stress the importance of having a working smoke alarm in your house?
It's vital to life safety. Having a working smoke alarm in the home, necessarily just because they beep doesn't necessarily mean they work, but having that in the home, that is your life safety line. When there's a fire, that is what's going to wake you. You know, if you're awake, of course you may already know, but if you're asleep, that's what's going to pull you out of there. It's going to wake you up. Okay,
so we definitely want to make sure people distinguish working versus not. So what's the significance of that term, working?
So working, you know, we've preached for years, batteries better, change your batteries. And now we even have alarms that have a long life battery, and we'll talk about that shortly. But even when you change a battery and you push the button and it beeps, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work in a fire or smoke-filled environment. What happens is the sensor that's in there that senses the smoke has a little bit of radiation in it called americium. And over the years that dissipates from the unit, leaving it less likely to go off in a smoke-filled environment.
Now this might sound crazy, but should you test it by putting some smoke near the alarm?
No, because and we're not putting it near the kitchen, because when you're cooking or smoke is in the area, it puts a layer or a film over that little sensor, and it desensitizes it. It makes it less accurate, less likely to go off the next time there's smoke. So that's why if there is a fire, we're going to get rid of that one and get new ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned if batteries are in the system, or if it uses batteries, does it mean that not all systems have batteries? Or?
So typically in a home built prior to 76, typically they're going to be battery operated. And there are some models where you have that long life battery, or some people call it the 10-year, but it does last longer than a regular battery, and you don't take it out of the unit. But in homes built from 76 to around mid-99, you may have an electric alarm. It should have a battery in it for backup in case the power goes out. And anything built from 99 to current, you will have a hardwired alarm. You've got them all through the house, in every bedroom, every level of the home, even in the hallway outside those bedrooms. But they're powered by electricity with a battery backup in case the power goes out, and they're interconnected so that if there's a fire, the smoke alarm farthest away from the fire is going to go off at the same time as the one closest to the fire.
Now, does that matter if the battery is dead?
If there's still power to the home, it wouldn't. But if the fire has already caused the power to disconnect, now you're going to be without protection because that battery would be your lifeline.
Okay, so that's the 2 times a year change
Yes.
your batteries when the clock changes
Right.
forward and backwards. So with those, is it the electric alarm then that you don't need to worry about changing the battery yourself because it's built in?
It just depends on how it's made. If it's the long life type, it will say that on it, and it'll have that 10-year battery in it, and you won't have to worry about that. But it could be an electric alarm. It could be one of your battery operated only, but different models have that long life battery in them.
In 10 years, you'll know what the 10th year is because it's stamped on the back.
Yeah, and so the 10 years matters. It's on the back of the alarm, stamped there from the manufacturer, not what's written on there. And that is the manufacturer date, or when it was born. I tell the kids, celebrate a birthday. And then you add 10 years to that, and that tells you when it expires or when it's time to start thinking about getting the new alarms.
Okay. Now, what about carbon monoxide alarms? How do you know if you need to install one of those?
Pretty much, if with a carbon monoxide, if you are using any gas for any reason in the home, if you have an attached garage, or if you have a traditional wood burning chimney, such as either a fireplace or a wood stove, those things are producing carbon monoxide. So we definitely want to have a carbon monoxide alarm, and you can even get them where they're a combination of smoke and carbon monoxide.
Okay. I need one of those because it's all inclusive.
Yep.
Now, I know back in the day we would always promote that if you need assistance with getting a smoke alarm or replacing batteries, the fire department is the first place to call. Is that still the case?
That is still the case. We still have that alarm line, 336-373-2576. So
Okay.
we can assist you with that.
And that's free of charge.
It is free of charge.
Perfect. Well, Dee, once again, you've shared some great information to help us be proactive in how we can save our lives on the front end. And we want to make sure everyone checks the back to know what that expiration date is for their smoke alarm. And you'll be back next time, and we'll be talking college campus safety.
Okay.
See you then.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorset Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The City of Greensboro is the recipient of an Economic Adjustment Assistance Grant in the amount of $100,000. The funds are from the U.S. Department of Commerce's Economic Development Administration. This will allow the city to perform a land use study on a portion of the U.S. Highway 421 corridor in Guilford County. The study will investigate existing and future use of properties located along the corridor to provide the city with the necessary information to ensure the availability of adequate infrastructure, public services, and other resources required to support economic development, such as the Toyota battery manufacturing plant. Additionally, the study will identify nearby sites considered suitable to serve as locations for supply and support businesses to the Greensboro Randolph megasite and other companies in the region. In December of 2021, the Greensboro City Council authorized matching the grant up to $100,000. The city is currently installing water and sewer infrastructure to the Greensboro-Randolph megasite for the Toyota plant. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, let's see how the city of Greensboro celebrates diversity in the workplace.
Equity and inclusion are vital for the City of Greensboro's ability to grow and innovate in such a fast-changing environment. One Greensboro is a monthly show that highlights some of the ways the Office of Equity and Inclusion honors the observances listed on our Heritage Calendar and spotlights a City of Greensboro employee in a segment we call The One. These observances are an integral part of the National Equal Employment Opportunity and Civil Rights Program and encourage us to live as one people, one community, one Greensboro.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Greensboro Transit Agency will resume its transit partnership with Guilford County Schools for the upcoming school year. As a follow-up to addressing a school bus operator shortage earlier this year, free access will be available for all GCS students with a focus on students attending Dudley, Grimsley, Page, and Smith High Schools, as well as the Academy at Smith. Students who live or attend school along GTA's 19 daily routes can use the system as an option for attending classes or after-school activities. Guilford County Schools is providing enhanced support for the transit services with an upgrade of the Student's One Card to ensure compatibility with GTA's payment system. To provide students and parents an introduction to the public transit system, GTA hosted 2 events called Get to Know GTA. This included a tour of a GTA bus and a free ride-along on the route serving the 4 high schools. For more information about this service for Guilford County school students, visit GTA's website. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO Shout Out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO Shout Out. This week's shout out goes to Creative Greensboro. The Office of Arts and Culture is expanding its neighborhood arts program to bring additional cultural experiences to 3 Southeast Greensboro communities this fall and next spring. Residents of Dudley Heights, Glenwood, and Kings Forest will have opportunities to attend live concerts, storytelling and art-making events, or a poetry and visual arts series. These programs build on the community-based activities Creative Greensboro supported last year through the Neighborhood Arts Residency Program. To date, Creative Greensboro has committed more than $150,000 toward creative projects in the 5 neighborhoods identified for reinvestment in the city's Housing GSO plan. For more information about the Neighborhood Arts Residency Program, visit the city's website. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO. Plus, GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.